I'll wait a second until some people are showing up. Good morning, everybody. I have my coffee ready and I'm here. The cat is eating his food, so if you hear smacking, it's the cat. The dog is laying on my lap. The plant there is dying, um, which is not a reflection of anything related to me. Let me say it in that way. There is a comment. Somebody is here. I don't know who, but somebody is here. Hello. Good morning. How are you today? I have some announcements to make, and I hope you will look forward to them. I think you already know that we will go live on Facebook and YouTube now on July 18th with Dr. Plantel. Her real name is Dr. Nisha Patel. Um, she is board certified in obesity medicine, internal medicine, and now culinary medicine. And she will be talking with us and answering your questions. I think it's exciting to have her, and I hope you will enjoy it. But that's not until July 18th. This Saturday, July 2nd, at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will be fortunate to have Brett join us at our regular weekly meetings. Brett is a retired English professor from the University of California in Sacramento. It's not a secret, he has been through um, cancer and lots of heavy duty treatments, and as a result of that he is on disability, and he still wants to have a meaningful purpose, and so he has created a writing as healing workshop, and he's a guest every few months here at our Saturday morning sessions, and so I hope you will enjoy that. um, Thirdly, I already touched on it a little bit. Some of the followers that we have are not on social media, and so I thought maybe it's um, a way to go around that is to be able to stream it directly to not just Facebook but also YouTube. And so this particular session is doing just that. It's on Facebook and it's also on YouTube. Um, and let's see if that helps those who are not on Instagram or TikTok or any of those. Um, the link is a little complicated and pretty long. I cannot customize the title to Cancer Survivor MD until I have at least 1,000 followers. It says you have to subscribe to the channel, but it's completely for free. You just click that button, and it's basically the same as in Facebook following. You don't have to pay anything. Having said that, there's somebody here who's leaving messages for me. I don't know who it is. I can't see their name, but that's okay. The question is, oh, I know who this is. Inge is here. Inge is wishing me good morning. And I know that one of our followers was going to the hospital to be, her daughter was going to the hospital because there was some abnormality that was concerning for cancer. And this particular user is telling me, I know, but she's anonymous. So I'm trying to, Inge is telling me that her mother is here too. She's the one who left a message. There was some concern in one of their family members that a cancer may have popped up, but apparently we don't have answers yet, so we will stay tuned. I'm trying to respect everyone's privacy. It's really nice to have both of you here. I'm happy to hear that. Although I'm sure it might still be a little bit unnerving to not know why these changes are there. Imaging was performed, no clear evidence of cancer, but now they're being referred to a skin doctor to see why these changes might be there. And it's always in a family where cancer is running from one generation to the other, it's always unnerving to not have a definite diagnosis just yet. It's always in the back of your mind. In any cancer survivor for that matter, what is really going on here? Is this something we need to be concerned about? And so I'm hoping that this dermatologist can make definitive diagnosis so that you all can put it to rest. So how am I doing today? I'm doing okay. My cat is trying to come up here. I submitted my Social Security disability application, which I was told only takes an hour, but it took much more than an hour. They need to know a lot of information about you, which I understand why, but it was pretty labor intensive. And now wait and see. I keep seeing my doctors every few weeks, every few months to help the paperwork along, which I did yesterday. So I realize I'm not answering the question, which was how am I doing, not what am I doing. So how am I doing? I'm doing okay. My voice is reasonable these days. I'm trying to move more. I'm trying to work up my fitness level. As many of you know, at this point, I have a mitochondrial disease, which is genetic. It means that my body cannot literally make the energy to move around. And you need energy for all your functions, from breathing to moving to talking to even your brain function. And so I'm on an experimental medicine with the hope that it works. I've been on it now since March. It helped a teeny little bit to make my life a little easier in terms of self-care, but only a little bit. I cannot go up on the dosing. The dosing has to stay where it is. So the hope is, though, that this medicine continues to have a positive effect over time, and that's what we're waiting for and crossing our fingers for. I'm trying to wrap my head around the fact that I may not go back to work for a little bit. I know you should not define your sense of self by your work. There's more outside of work. The same thing with your disease. We're more than our work. We're more than our disease. But at the same time, many of us get a lot of meaning and purpose out of having a profession. And so it's for many cancer survivors or any of those living with a chronic disease, it's about being adaptive and resilient and flexible to try to repurpose yourself to continue to have a meaning and a purpose. And we will see where that will take me. Yes, it's a lot of stress and frustration. It's fascinating that I'm on disability because I can't work, but then at the same time, it's almost a day job to see all these doctors and fill out these papers. It's like astonishing. Thank you, Willeke, and hey, Bertha is there too. How are you, Bertha? I hope you will be there this weekend, Bertha. We haven't seen you in a while. I think you went on vacation. I hope your vacation went the way you wanted it to. And as a side note, Inge, I found somebody who shares your passion for tinctures, and so I may connect you with her if you're okay with that. And Bertha says she's back home, which is very good news. I also have a lot of questions from patients about COVID, since there is a rumor, there's some rumblings indicating that the COVID, there is a next COVID wave coming, and that this particular COVID wave has two variants that may have outsmarted our immunizations. So stay tuned. I wouldn't change your life. Take this into account just yet, but just stay tuned. This is something we expected would happen at some point. Manufacturers are watching this very closely. The government is watching this very closely, and they can jump in to create a modified immunization within 2 to 3 months, is what we were told. So depending on where this goes, we might all be offered a modified immunization. The immunization that we have at the current time is the same one that we've had from the beginning. That's unbelievable, but I think the first immunization was available 18 months ago at this point. And it still hasn't needed to be changed. It was still highly effective against all the variants that are floating around up until now, perhaps. So stay tuned to see what these variants mean in terms of how many cases, in terms of how sick it makes people, and if there's a need for manufacturers to make modified immunizations. Talking about that, I can't stress it enough for those of you who are immunosuppressed to talk with your doctors and see if besides immunizations you may qualify for the direct injection of a little depot through a needle. It's a simple injection like a flu shot, but not this works differently. This is not an immunization that triggers your body to make antibodies, but this is the direct deposit of antibodies for those whose bodies cannot make antibodies themselves. This depot should last for about 6 months. It's called Evusheld, EVUSHELD. We just got notification through my institution that Evusheld is now recommended to be repeated every 6 months. Like I said, it lasts for about 6 months. There is no knowledge just yet as to whether or not Evusheld does or does not work as well for these variants. So all these are moving parts that we will keep an eye on. As of right now, no need to adopt or change anything you're doing. Just do what you feel comfortable with in terms of what's going on in your local community, in terms of exposure risk, your own risk for not being able to fight COVID, and your personal comfort level. So let me see, because I got a lot of messages in since I checked last. Yeah, masking time again. I would keep masks around. We all have different levels of risk, and maybe talk with your doctor where you are in terms of your own immune system able to fight it or not, and whether you qualify for Evusheld. Good morning, Kathy. How are you doing? Um, Inga is writing that she thinks she has some residual effects from COVID. She had a recent infection. She's either very tired or can't sleep, and those two are probably related. She says, I'm scared of these immunizations because of my autoimmune disease. Evusheld may work for me. Yes, I would certainly consider asking your doctors. It needs to be prescribed. You can't just walk into a pharmacy. It actually needs to be administered, as far as I understand, in a hospital setting, and they need to watch you for an hour. Um, Initially, they were giving people lower dosages. Now they understand that the higher dosage, which I think is 300 milligrams, is what is recommended. So that's what they're giving people standard. So you don't have to go back. When I went, they gave me the lower dose. I had to go back to get an additional lower dose to make up for getting a higher dose. I think I got 2 times 150. Don't quote me there. They're giving everybody by default a higher dose, since that is what is needed, to be repeated every 6 months. Yes, I would seriously consider that, Inga, but you have to ask your doctors. They have to prescribe it, and then you go to an official setting, a hospital setting, where they can observe you. You have to stay for about an hour afterwards. But most people tolerate it very well. So I would not be as concerned about the side effects. I haven't heard many, if any, issues in terms of people reacting to Evusheld. Inga asked, "Can I go to my general practitioner for this?" Yes, you can. In our institution, I think it can be both your cancer doctor and your primary care doctor. I guess every institution has their own flow in terms of how they approach this. But I would ask your doctor. They should know in their system how to go about it. I also would recommend, by the way, to check with your health insurance to make sure it's covered. Because that's the thing I did here actually, is that some um, individuals who receive the Evusheld, they most have the Evusheld part covered, but it needs to be administered by a nurse, and you need to be observed for an hour, and that part also comes with a charge that is not covered by all health plans. And so some individuals are stuck with a bill somewhere between the $1,000 and $2,000. So I would double check. I guess it's called a facility charge, that you are having a coverage for both before you go in, because I really don't want you to end up with a bill unless you're okay with that. I guess it all depends on your individual need to receive this medication and your ability to pay for it, which I think money should never be a consideration in terms of getting treatment, but sadly it sometimes is. So Kathy, I'm doing well. She writes, I'm happy to hear that. I think maybe at this point I'm going to close it off for today. But I'm very happy to have had a little chat with you and to see all of you and share your coffee with me. And we'll repeat this again soon. Thank you. Stay well. Bye.